Kenya will open a consulate in Somaliland by the end of March next year, and the country's national carrier will begin direct flights to the capital, Hargeissa, and among other agreements reached between Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta and the leader of the self-declared nation Musa Bihi on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the country's Foreign Affairs Minister Hagi Mohamoud says that Somalia has no right to decide who can relate with Hargeissa. This after Mogadishu severed links with Nairobi following the visit to Nairobi by Bibi. Somaliland declared independence from Somalia in 1991 and is routinely treated as separate from that country, but Somalia has never recognized it. Mohammed spoke to reporter Sarah Kimani in Nairobi.
Minister, thank you very much for joining us. Now, President Kenyatta hosted President Bihi, the president of Somaliland, here in Kenya, and this was President Bihi's first visit. Would like to know what came out of the bilateral talks that they held over 2 days.
Well, the two presidents had a closed-door meeting, and they have been together for over, I would say, for 2 hours together. So they must have covered a large area on many topics and issues. We didn't have access to all of this ourselves, but I think you have seen the cooperation agreement signed and issued yesterday. So what I believe, a lot of, issues has been covered, and, agreement has been reached.
There's the opening of a consulate. Is Kenya Airways flying direct to Hargeissa?
Yeah.
Just highlight for us.
Well, it highlighted partnership on many issues, trade, investment, education, and communication and transport. So it covered almost all the areas that any two countries could cooperate and work with each other.
On the diplomatic front?
On the diplomatic front, of course. I mean, it includes, we already had Somaliland and Kenya, we had an office here. Kenya has been planning for some time to have their office open in Hargeissa, and that has been officially now sealed. And so the agreement, the relationship, the diplomatic front is being deepened and it's growing. So,
on the diplomatic front, Kenya will be opening a consulate in Hargeissa. This is the capital of Somaliland. How important is that, and what is the significance of Kenya having a presence in Hargeissa?
It would only, there are a number of countries, other countries that have diplomatic offices in Hargeissa. As you know, Turkey has one, Ethiopia has one, Djibouti has one. The European countries also have their office, both UK and Denmark. And the EU have their own offices in Hargeissa. So Kenya would join those countries, other countries that have their offices. But it would, I would say, it would, add to the significant importance to the diplomatic circle in Hargeissa. It would be very important.
The president came into Kenya just after the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, and one of the issues that the Prime Minister of Ethiopia discussed was the Lamu port. And of course, we have the port in Berbera, and we have now the ports in Kenya. How can the two countries trade together? What do you see as the main trade item that Kenya and Somaliland can trade together, and probably taking advantage of the port?
I would say quite a lot. The port of Berbera is geographical-wise, it's close to the Red Sea and the main trading lanes of the shipping lanes. So a lot of goods and imports come through Berbera, which can be of use to the Kenyan businessmen and the Somaliland businessmen could exchange. So You know, as you know, Somaliland has huge fishing resources, mineral resources. So I would say the potential is there for the two countries to exchange trading activities. Well, Kenya is important. Kenya is a bulwark. It's an important country. It's a major diplomatic hub. It's a major center of the international community. And Kenya is among the one of the major African countries. I would say we would believe that it has tremendous influence both in the AU. Kenya is currently becoming a member of the non-permanent member of the Security Council, and already it's an important country in the IGAD and in the AU in general. So Kenya is quite important to Somaliland, everywhere you look at, not only in the trade aspect and so on, but in the diplomatic arena and in every way, it would be important. Somaliland, I would say, is important because of its geographical location, access to the trading routes of and closeness to the Middle East and to North Africa. It's a huge investment potential, I would say. The Kenyan community, business community can invest and can, I would say, sell and their products and the the goods they produce to the international, to other countries in the region and beyond.
And of course, we've seen what is happening in Mogadishu immediately after President Bihi arrived here. We saw the movement and even the announcement by Mogadishu that it was severing links with Kenya. But this is not the first time. They have broken ties now with Guinea. And what would you say to your neighbor or your brother concerning this, being very unsettled every time you make a step towards a relationship with a country?
Yes, you are quite right. Every time we have, even our relationship with our either neighbors or other countries around the world, they become quite irritant. We don't know why they should be that. And I would advise them, that they don't own Somaliland. Somaliland is an independent country. It has its own politics, its own diplomatic policies. It's not, they can't control it. They don't own Somaliland. So I would say, advise them to change their manners and the way they are. They have failed, I would say, so far in trying to, own and control Somaliland as part of their country, which is not the case.